Bonjour, bonjour from Paris. This morning it is Saturday, 23rd of August, and I've been going into the Louvre every morning to soak up the last days of the couture exhibit that closes tomorrow. But I decided this morning to come down and check on the old gal, see how she's doing, to see how the scaffolding is. And as soon as I got close, I almost cried. I was so happy. And we're gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you as I see it, because I just decided to just start filming. But if you could see, it's kind of hard because it's backlit. But a lot of the scaffolding is gone. But not only is the scaffolding gone, from this point right here, I could actually see two of the statues on the roof. These statues were removed April 11th, 2019, 4 days before the fire. So they have not been seen up there. The last time I had been in Paris was in January of that year. So it was the last time they were up there. And of course, you know, they were wonderful and great, but we all took it for granted and didn't really appreciate them. But today, I just about died. So we're gonna walk around the side. It's just opening. The bells will probably ring here pretty quickly, so I'll get some of that for you. But let's walk around and see what else we could see and see how many of the statues. But I do believe I see St. Thomas, so let's go check it out. I can hear the bells a little, but we've had on the other side of a bit of a heat wave. It's been in the high 60s. Low 70s, 71 yesterday for a topper. It's been blissful. Look at how beautiful this morning is. Trees are starting to change. Oh, so wonderful. Scaffolding is here still on the crevice, so we can't really see any of the statues on this side. Everything starts to kind of kick into gear Monday in Paris. The rentrée, they call it, September 1st, so everybody goes to school and back to work, but a lot of people will start coming back this weekend, Monday, back to work for a lot of people. Did you hear the bells? It's got to be so strange for the people that have been working on the Spire every day to know that it's finished, and they won't be coming here every day. Probably a mix of happiness. So we still can't see a lot in the corner. Let's see what we can find in the park. So you definitely can't really see the statues close up because the scaffolding as we look up is blocking it. But look at the spire. All that open work at the bottom has been revealed that we have not seen, and it looks kind of shiny up there. Hasn't been all oxidized yet. Look at it. I love how that it did take, you know, they've been covering it with lead for about the last year and a half. So it has oxidized. So, you know, we were thinking, oh, it's gonna just appear and it's gonna be so shiny and new, but it has actually, the whole roof is oxidized as well. The statues were all polished or cleaned, taken off, as I said, April 11th, 2019, and they were all cleaned. They were sandblasted with ground up apricot pits. and completely cleaned, and then they treated it and then covered it, and that is why they are more of a dark brown color, which is what they originally were. So assuming that they will eventually turn back to be oxidized and green on the roof. It's a rather massive thing here, new. But look at it. So I'm guessing that definitely in the next few weeks, I'm guessing next week, more of this will be revealed, especially into the first week of September, because that's when everybody kind of comes back full-fledged to work. And I think we'll see it completely unveiled. But let's see what else we can see on the corner. This was the road. I've showed this been a few weeks. I think probably about a month since they opened up this road. They completely stoned it over there, new stones on the road. I don't know why they couldn't fix this. So it looks all nice and pretty in a straight line. That's my OCD. If you follow me, and you see when I post pictures in the Louvre of the benches all awry because people live like animals. We can't have things in nice straight lines. But this is great. It's the last weekend of August, and it's nice and quiet. Cafes in my neighborhood weren't even open yet. They hadn't even set up. So there you can see the roof, the amazing roof line up there. That is, if you are new to following me, or if you've watched every one of these, I have talked about how after the fire that June, they had decided everything had to be recreated the way it was. They also had to recreate it in the way that it was actually done. So not only does the roof have to look like it did and the spire have to look like it did, it had to be created exactly the way that it did. So whether that was the 12th century, the 13th century, the 18th century, 19th century, because you are dealing with many, many different periods of time. Look at how cute that little. They had to do everything the way it was. Of course, you got to use some modern things like cranes and things, but you see these beautiful this roof line here. That was all designed under Viollet-le-Duc in the 19th century, and when he did those, they did those all by hand, but they were able to make a silicone mold and recreate those, mostly because after the fire, a lot of pieces, thousands of pieces, fell off the roof, from wood that had burned to the stones to chunks of the lead, the pieces of the clocks. All of these things were recovered. And what they noticed is that that lead roof line, the decorative element, was all different sizes. There was all different thicknesses, and that also, goes into the ones that were too thin. Definitely a lot of those melted. But what they did was they built and created this silicone mold and poured all of them. So they heated the lead till it was molten and liquid and poured it in there, and then made all of them so they are exactly uniform and the same size. You never would have noticed that before because from the outside they all looked the same, but these were all created so they all be the same thickness. I wish I could see some more statues, but I really did I did get a tear in my eye. I got so excited, and I kind of walked over here and walked down the little side street that I love to do, because then you get to a corner and then all of a sudden the cathedral just, pops out. And it's like a little hide and seek game, but I love walking down here and seeing her. But let's see, we'll walk into this little cafe without them getting mad. No, we still can't really see anything, but let's go. I'll take you out in front of the cathedral. And we'll see. But mass is going on right now. and it's actually not too busy. I think a lot of tourists are leaving, heading back as school's getting session. So it starts to get calmer. But let's take you to the front. Here we are. We'll walk over to the side again so we can see one more time, and then hope in the next week or two all of the statues are once again revealed. They've changed a few things if you go there in the morning. Depending on what time you go during the week, they open about 7:50. They're going to let all the people going into mass first, and then they let people coming in for a visit after that. But you will be held back you will only get to see the north nave until mass is over. And it's a good little while. It's not as soon as mass is over. They don't open the rest of it to walk through. So just keep that in mind. And also be really respectful if people are attending mass. I've sat in there many times during mass, and there's people behind at the little where they have you held back, talking loudly and making noise and stuff, and it's just a little. I can see Thomas. I'll zoom in for you, but so I can see him looking up. So see the dark right at the edge of the scaffolding. There's the dark figure. That's St. Thomas. And St. Thomas is open and looking up once again at his spire and looking up at the top hook that is the face of Philippe. And on that side, you can see right over there is Saint Jacques the Great, the Major up here. And those are the only two we can see so far, but that is something in and of itself. Oh, so excited. Still can't see the clock fully. I'm waiting for the clock to come out because I can't wait to share some of the stuff I have learned about the clocks. So I'm waiting for those to finally be revealed to share all of that. But that was just my little pop down here to check on, see how the girl is doing. And she's looking pretty good. But I hope you're having a wonderful morning. I guess, is it Labor Day this weekend, next weekend, one of those. So I will check back. I'll be down here a few times this week. I'll be making sure to come down here. Once the Louvre exhibit is closed, I'll have my early mornings over here again. And we'll keep an eye on it almost every day, and I'll share it with you. All right, guys, thank you so much. And also, if you, the podcast, my friend that I do it with, Crystal, is on vacation, so we re-released the first episode of the Mona Lisa. It's all about the theft this past Monday and this coming Monday, and it's really, really interesting, and it's really great, if I say so myself. But I love it, and I think it gives you a whole new perspective about Mona Lisa. When people go in and post things online like, oh, don't go see the Mona Lisa, she's overrated. It's not Mona Lisa that's the problem. It's the thousands of people that are in there that make it not so enjoyable, but she is pretty amazing. So listen to the podcast episodes. I'll put those links down below, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. The farther I moved away, St. Thomas is like rising out of the roof.